Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and now I thought would be a great time to do the Booktube community tag that Mark from Richardson Reads created. Mark from Richardson Reads is one of my favorite and a booktuber that I feel is among the most well-rounded and most well-spoken. And he's done plenty of my foodie book tags, and he was one of the first, if not the first, to respond to the Scholars book tag. So I thought I would respond to his Booktube community tag, and it's perfectly fitting now that we're doing the triathlon. So let's get started. The first question is, how long have you been watching Booktube? And I've been watching it for almost 4 years now. I started watching much more faithfully in November, December of 2014. We started our channel in February of 2014. However, I had no idea that there was a Booktube community, and once I found out about it and started swimming within it, then I started really getting involved, and I felt that defining our channel as a Booktube channel was the best route to go. Next one is, how long have you been a booktuber? If you count how long we've been doing business on our channel, it's 4 years. We started, our first video went up on February 11th, 2014. We actually filmed the pilot on December 19th of 2013. Next one is, how many countries do you have on your subscriber list? How many countries' booktubers do you subscribe to? I subscribe to any channel that I feel has great content. Ideally speaking, though, I would most often and most likely follow channels that where the booktubers speak English or have English subtitles to them. But I would give anything a chance, and I do have to learn some more languages in a fluent manner. But countries that I have on my subscriber list would be a challenge to determine unless I went through my analytics and figured that one out, because you don't always know those particular details, and you don't always know which countries some people come from, and as far as people that are subscribed to the channel, only the ones that show their subscription information publicly do you know about. Next one is, describe how you handle your comments section. Do you have regular conversations with certain people? I think that the community is the best part of Booktube, and I take comments very seriously, whether it be the people commenting on my videos or me commenting on other people's videos. I like to do my best to leave a very thoughtful comment, as thoughtful as possible. And when somebody comments on my video, I like to leave as thoughtful of a reply as I possibly am able to. So the way I try to respond as quickly as possible, but I like to respond when I have the clearest mind to do so. So, as far as having regular conversations with people, there are people that at times I engage in more regular conversations with, and I'll watch more of their videos more often at some point in time, and then our conversations expand to other outlets, which we'll get to later on. And That leads us right to question 5. Do you interact with booktubers on other social media besides YouTube? If so, what? The most crucial one would be Goodreads. I think that Goodreads messages provide people like myself with the best way to send a traditional and as private as you can think in the World Wide Web as possible. I think that I love interacting with certain people on Goodreads. I need to reply back to some people because I'll send them a very long message and they'll reply with a very long message, and I want to give them the best possible reply possible, and that requires a clear mind. I also interact with people on Facebook in some cases. The ones that I've become a little bit closer to, I talk to on Facebook. There is email, which that's mainly for transactions if I'm giving books away and giveaways. But those are my main outlets when it comes to interacting with other booktubers outside of YouTube. Question 6. Do you rely on some booktubers for recommendations? Sometimes, but I really tend to make my own selections. I have the blinders on when it comes to what I'm going to be reading, because I do a lot of reading up for the discussions, and then when we're not reading up for the discussions, I make a lot of my own individual choices for things that I want to read at the time, and they're usually based off of what's holding my interest at a given time. Next one is, do you interact with other booktubers on email regularly or occasionally? Usually, the only time I interact with them via email is if it is for business purposes, or if it's for business purposes, whether it be me sending them a book for a giveaway, organizing details for a guest contribution, a collaboration, a buddy read, something of that nature. But if it's for casual and extended discussion, if it's not on the video itself, it's usually on Goodreads. Next question. With tag videos, do you mix it up or do you tend to tag the same people? Which is a good question. I like to include a wide variety of people. However, when it comes to particular tags, especially with the foodie book tags, I like to tag my regulars because there's a very good chance that they are going to complete the tag. But I like to mix new people in as well because I like to broaden my horizons and get all different people involved, which, to sum it up, if you regularly do my foodie book tags, I will continue to tag you, but I'm also going to include new names here and there. And speaking of which, there should be a foodie book tag by the end of this month that I put together. What it is, though, remains to be determined. Next one is, have you ever mailed books to another booktuber? Yes, I have. I've mailed them through giveaways, but I also mailed some books to Ellie from Earl Grey Books. Next one is, have you received books in the mail from another booktuber? And as I don't think I have. I have received books from publishing companies. They were small presses that were looking for me to read and review. They were ARCs, Advanced Reading Copies, but it's been somewhat of a while. But granted, the two that I read were The Monocled Mutineer and something about Russia in the Russian literature in the 1930s, which I didn't really give them very good reviews because, to be quite honest, they weren't really that good. But I've also received Goodreads giveaway books that I won. The next one is, have you ever visited or been visited by another booktuber? Yes. The first one is Danielle from This Is Danielle. I will leave a link down to her channel below. But Danielle took part in 5 discussions that will be going up as part of Season 8. And we had a really great time, and we are really looking forward to working with her again. And we also have another booktuber planned for November. But until things go down, I'm going to leave that a surprise. Those of you will probably, I think if you have seen enough of my interactions, if you follow me via Facebook, or if you follow the Literary Gladiators group page on Facebook, you would know a little bit more. But once things take place, then I will start giving you a little bit more background information, and then when we release the Season 9 agenda, I'll let you know everything. Next one, for question 12. Do you do buddy reads? Is it always with the same people? Are they booktubers? I have done buddy reads. I did 2 of them pre-Booktube, and I did 10 of them since being on Booktube, but it has been a long while because I've been doing much more reading for Literary Gladiators, and there's been much more reading of books, novels, and longer works. But the buddy reads that I have done, I did, the 10 books that I did buddy reads for are, I did 2001: A Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke with Catherine from what was formerly known as On the Read, which she did with Shannon, who had a channel called Shannon Rose Reads. We did a blog collaboration for that. I read Keep the Aspidistra Flying by George Orwell with Rio from Rio Reads, and I did a review of that, which I will leave all the reviews down below to books that I reviewed following a buddy read. And I've noticed that they've gotten a pretty good response, and I really enjoyed engaging in them and then talking about the books with people. I did a buddy read of A Time to Kill by John Grisham with Lauren from Lauren and the Books. I did a buddy read of A Strangeness in My Mind by Orhan Pamuk with Michelle from Michelle is Life. and this was the first of 3 that I did with her. But in between I did a buddy read of Independent People by Haldor Laxness with Janelle from All the World's a Page. That one has gotten a good response, and it's her number 1. Her review of that is her number 1 video as well on her channel. The only one that did better as far as views are concerned is my review of Time to Kill. As far as buddy read book reviews are concerned, I did a buddy read of Punish the Sinners by John Saul with Julie from A Girl in a Book. I did a buddy read of Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi with Michelle from Michelle is Life. That was our second buddy read with one another. I did a buddy read of The Fortune of the Rogons by Emil Zola with Ellie from Earl Grey Books. After that point, I really started decreasing my buddy reads, but I did do buddy reads of Exit West by Mohsin Hamid with Michelle from Michelle is Life. The 2 of us are going to have to talk about that a little bit more. I think both of us finished it, but and then this year the only buddy read I did was with Ellie from Earl Grey Books of Human Bondage by W. Somerset Maugham. And I'm sure that the 2 of us are going to be talking about that a little bit more in the near future. But I also started a buddy read of The Tin Drum by Gunter Grass with Graham from his channel at that time was Mega Man Chi Fan. Graham could not stand the Tin Drum to the point that he had to back out of the buddy read, and I wasn't getting too far either because of everything that was going on at the time. But that was pretty much, that's my laydown when it comes to those kind of buddy reads per se. But if you count our discussions, I've done several buddy reads. And the last one is tag some of your friends, and I'm just going to be general with this one. If you feel that I'm a good friend of yours in the Booktube community, I tag you. Thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you check out some more videos from our channel. We will have a video up every day during the month of October of 2018, God willing. And for now, and as always, I encourage you to keep reading.